Okay, we're going to boot this little netbook up now, and it is going to give us a choice of either going into Linux Mint 17 or into Windows XP. We're going to choose Linux 17 currently, so you can get a little idea how this works. Linux Mint 17 is loaded on one of the hard drives on this computer, so it will boot from there. Mint 17 is a fairly large distribution. I believe it's around 3 gigs, a little more than 3 gigs on the hard drive, which is fairly good size for Linux. And the reason for that is it has a lot of bells and whistles. It almost acts totally like a Windows machine. Some pluses and minuses. It uses less resources. It's probably a lot more secure than Windows machines, simply because hackers the low-hanging fruit, which happens to be Windows. 95% of the machines in the world are running it. Those are PCs. Linux has got most of the servers and most everything else. But we're going to go ahead and sign in at this point. And it is going to finish its a minute or two. But it does, it's much lighter on the hardware in your computer. And many people are switching to Linux. Some because it's free, but mostly because it's highly customizable. There are a lot of different versions of it that are specifically for whether it's gaming that you're interested in, or videos, or music, or whatever it is. There's a Linux distribution that specializes in that and is written so that it does it better than anything else. You open up to a welcome screen that's got a lot of things on how to. It's got the manual here. Probably the most interesting thing here is the software manager. And again, they're going to want my password. Which it takes a minute or two to give me your password. That's not a really bad thing. So it also takes it a minute or two to boot this up. And what it's doing is going actually on the internet and looking to see if there's anything new. And you see icons come up, and it's got featured programs that you may like. And then it's got all the packages, and they call them packages. Those that are familiar with Mac are familiar with the term. Those are self-installing programs. And currently it's listing 45,366 programs specifically designed to run with Linux Mint 17. And then it goes into individual things, whether it be the internet or sounds and music and videos and games and Office and so on. So not to worry about there being enough programs to work with in Linux. Most of the other things are very similar to Windows. Things that are down on your taskbar down here. Battery condition and who's signed in, and whether you're connected to the internet. And this one shows Dropbox, and over here you have File Explorer, and here you have Thunderbird, which is the built-in web browser. And here is the dreaded, and this is what makes Linux, terminal. And this is a DOS-like window that allows you to actually change the software that runs the computer. The current big programs of Linux, whether it be Ubuntu or Mint or a variety of other ones, very rarely are you going to have to get into the terminal and change things. You can if you want, but it basically has pre-done things for you, just like Windows. And like I say, more and more people are moving into Linux, as well as some of the manufacturers. Dell has several computers that come from the factory running Linux. But right now we're going to shut it down. So we click, and again, this is very much like your start menu. You can get at all your accessories and all your different programs and whatever it is that runs the computer from this control panel. Here's your shutdown button, and yes, we want to shut down. And it's saving this section. Hard drive. And you have now seen one of the most current Windows-like distributions of Linux, Mint 17, running a Cinnamon desktop.